here. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's doing well today. I'm super excited to talk about how to create chemistry in your dating and relationships, quite frankly. So how many of you have gone out on a first date and you think things are going pretty well and you don't hear from them again? Or you go out on several dates, things seem to be going well. There's a frequency in the amount that you're connecting. There seems to be a buildup. And then next thing you know, he starts pulling back or he becomes hot and cold. So I'm going to talk about why that is today, and also about how to create chemistry and create a momentum with chemistry in early dating. And there's some common misconceptions around that. So your early dating foundation can actually create chemistry for the future. It's called the foundation. And I'm going to talk to you guys more about pacing, early relationship, and transitioning into later relationship. I hope that helps, and I'm excited to jump right in. So, chemistry. Has anyone out there watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette? If you have, say yes. If you haven't, say heck no. If you have, this is going to help you. And I definitely recommend watching the show for this reason. And no matter what you think about the context, what you think about how they do things. So the Bachelor or the Bachelorette typically feels chemistry with someone, hi Helene, that they've had a one-on-one date with, or they've had a group date where they had a really good time and they had some individual time with that person, but typically it was around a date or an activity on a date. That's why, if you ever notice, the women are really concerned about actually getting on a date or, an individual date or a group date, because this is the number one way how chemistry is developed, by activities. So chemistry is developed through activities on a date, or doing something together. Men actually bond through activities. So a lot of times we talk about meeting for coffee for our first meeting, and while that's all fine and good, it's not much of an activity. So something to encourage on a first meeting is, definitely meeting for coffee and maybe a walk, or something where you can, maybe you're walking through an art gallery, or it could be a variety of different things where you're in an area, or, even a little strip mall or something where you're walking around, you're referencing conversation points, you might be making jokes about things. That creates a connection. And you're not so focused on being in interview mode, whether we know it or not. We have the tendency to go into interview mode. Men do it as well as women do it, even if we try to avoid it. So the reason why people fall in love, or say they fall in love through The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, is they're doing some pretty amazing activities. They're going on hot air balloons, really amazing romantic getaways, they're horseback riding. I mean, the list goes on and on of the things that they're sharing together to bond. A couple places that I recommend for first or second meetings are, farmers markets, things, places where, street fairs, things like that. Places where, while he may not really enjoy shopping, but you can have some fun together and within the activity. Even going to an arcade or one of those family fun centers where you're playing air hockey or foosball or something like that, where you're creating a connection through the activity. And I know you might be thinking, well, I suck at things like that, or a guy's suggested pool and I'm not very good at it. Great, why don't you go and be really bad at it and have him teach you how, and just have fun and not worry about what you look like, because men don't care unless he's looking for a pool shark. Then he should join a pool league and meet someone that is really good at pool. Most men don't care, and they actually love the opportunity where they can teach you things. So that's the number one way to create chemistry with a man is, for one, doing activities with him that are actually creating memories. Letting him lead those activities. Like, what are some of the things you like to do? Oh, that would be so much fun. I love listening to music too. Do you dance? No, I don't. Just having a light-hearted energy, that will create a connection, as well as not trying to be perfect. So that's the number one way. Number two is, gosh, I have so many different ways to create connection here, but the second way is this. So oftentimes, there's a misconception when we're early on in dating. Women get offended when a man doesn't ask about her. Have you ever experienced that, where you're with someone and he might be talking a lot about himself or about an experience he had or sharing a story with you, and he doesn't ask you anything like, how was your day? Did you make it here okay? Or whatever. He's not asking you questions. Here's the reason why. This is so important if you haven't gotten this before, is men don't actually ask each other how they're doing. They share with each other what's going on. Sorry, you guys, my phone rang, so the video stopped on Instagram. So back to that, they share with each other how they are. They actually expect that you're going to do that too. And depending on the man, because all men are a little bit different, some men will ask, how are you doing? What's going on? They'll try to draw something out of you. So keeping in mind, referencing something that they're talking about. Gosh, I really enjoyed the fact that you shared this with me. I liked, I at one point had tried bungee jumping too, and I don't think I'm ever going to do that again, but have you tried skydiving? Yada, yada, whatever. So reference point things, share about something in your day. Men also love when you share vulnerably about things. And it doesn't need to be your whole life story, but something that you might even be a little bit scared to share. Gosh, I was a little bit scared to share this, but I was nervous before we met tonight. I don't know. I just have a little bit of butterflies in my stomach. Whatever's coming up for you, or something that you might be scared to share that you might be feeling a little bit of shame around. I haven't been in a relationship in a few years. It's, this is kind of scary. Or not that you're in a relationship with someone per se, as you're dating early on, but, I'm just getting myself back out there, or, things that are coming up for you that are vulnerable. And I can help you out when it comes to that. If you're, or asking his opinion on something is always good to get, because it actually shows vulnerability. It shows the fact that you value him, you value his opinions. So that's the second way that you create chemistry, okay, is through those kinds of connections. And the third way is the way you communicate with a man. So especially on a first and second date, have you ever been out with a man and you felt like it went really well and he never called you again? All in favor say aye. And in fact, you know, if you've experienced that, say, yes, I have. It left me confused. Yes, I've experienced that. Please put that in the comments section. So if you thought, gosh, I had a really great connection, I'm pretty sure this guy's going to call me. I've had it happen before. And there could be a variety of different reasons why he doesn't call you. Here are the top ones as to why. I'm going to give you 2 reasons. He just didn't feel a connection with you. And the reason why he didn't feel the connection with you is because of the way you two were communicating. So there's some studies around this, and I'm continuing to do research, that a man actually connects more with a woman that is doing 80% of the talking during the first couple of dates. Now, when you're doing that, when you're doing more of the talking, and as women, we love to talk. Who doesn't love to talk, right? So we can be sharing about experiences, a story, positivity, you know, asking them to engage. And when you do that, you're not interrupting them. That's a really big deal. So you're showing respect as you're communicating with them. So you might say, you know, you might go, oh yeah, I traveled to Nepal myself. Oh really? Where did you go? Were you? And zip it. Listen to learn and wait for 6 to 10 seconds for him to fully share the story. Because you might go, oh, that was good. I went to the same place you did. And then he starts processing it and thinking about, oh, and then I did this really amazing thing where, you know, we toured these caves that had all these fossils in it, right? So he starts sharing with you, and he will start to share and connect that memory with you, and the engagement that you have with him will create a deeper connection with him. So a woman can be talking 80% on a first couple dates. Now he may do what we talk about, and I talk about this a lot, called peacocking, where he starts to do some bragging about himself, you know, bragging about his assets or his vehicle, or that he's achieved this. And, you know, that's great. Perfect that he's doing that. Affirm him. Oh, that's really great. That must have been really challenging to accomplish. You actually climbed that whole building and you then did architectural design around that. Gosh, that must have been really challenging. You know, so affirming him. He needs affirmation. So I'm going to give you something else. Also, men are just as fearful, if not more fearful than you are, of rejection. So a man may leave a meeting with you going, I'm not sure she's interested or not, and I'm not certain that I'm willing to take the chance that she's just going to blow me off. So if you're not affirming or letting him, and if affirmations are, gosh, I really enjoy your story. I'm having such a great time with you. A little bit of mild flirtation. You know, if you were to ask me out to that concert this weekend, I might actually say yes. You know, smiling, eye contact, engagement that way, he will feel affirmed. Okay, it's safe to say she said she would go out with me again, so I will ask her out. I can't tell you, I have a client of mine that when we first started working together, she's now in a relationship with the man that's love of her life, super exciting. When we first started working together, she would go out on dates, and I called her the one date wonder. She would just go out on one date. What would happen is she'd go, gosh, I thought the date went great. I felt, we laughed, we shared some things, and I started, digging deeper about what happened on the date, how it ended. And she admitted she would get nervous and get really stiff if they tried to hug her at the end of the date, because oftentimes women, we think he wants something from us, and we think that we owe him something. We don't owe them anything except for a great smile and maybe a good hug. They may try to give you a kiss on a first meeting, but they're your lips, it's your body, and know that he's not just looking for sex. If he does that, he's attracted to you. It's up to you to pace things. Pacing is super important, and I'm going to go into that deeper tomorrow, because if you're pacing, that creates a deeper connection, and he has more of a desire to move the relationship forward. Typically, as women, we want the relationship to move much, much faster in the beginning than they do. They might be like, this is kind of fun, I'm exploring this, she's cute, I like the way she looks in that dress, she laughed at my jokes, we definitely are, creating some form of connection, and I'm attracted to her. And the connection goes from those things that I shared, giving him space to share, affirmation, doing activities together, being lighthearted, not looking deeply into, he held my hand and told me that he should meet my mom at this family affair that they're doing in a couple weeks. Take that with a grain of salt in the beginning, because he may be feeling that way in the moment. It could change depending on what happens. And this is why I don't recommend getting intimate too soon, before you've developed a foundation of, does this person share my values or not? Because it frankly takes time to know people. Yeah, does it happen every once in a while where you meet someone and they're engaged in 90 days? Yes, it does. It's more the exception to the rule, because people tend to put masks on, and especially women, because we want to look perfect rather than letting our guard down. And the more that you're engaging with them around stories, experiences in your life, asking them, sharing conversation, the more they can actually connect with the real you. And they don't want you to be perfect. They really want you to hear that. They actually love quirkiness. They love the fact that you're not necessarily perfect, but and you're showing that side of you, because they're not perfect either. And they think, oh wow, think about if you've dated someone or were in a long-term relationship at one point and you broke up. Less than a year later, he's engaged and married. Has anybody had that happen? Well, I have, actually. Part of that is because, for whatever reason, it wasn't fully connecting. And what was underneath that is he may have really loved you, but didn't think that he could move mountains for you in a way that would really make you happy or really measure up to what he felt like he wanted to be for you. So he met somebody else that he could provide that for. This is not personal necessarily. And I actually believe if it's the right connection for you, that that will happen easier and more naturally. But we can create connections. We oftentimes think that chemistry is built through the person. Chemistry is built a lot of times through the setting, the experiences. That's why people fall in love on The Bachelor. They're in all of these romantic settings where real life is not happening. So they're creating a connection through the experiences. And a lot of times when there's intimacy happening, we can miss red flags or miss things that are out of alignment for us. So that's the main reason why I say walk before you run, find out, take some time to get to know this person. Who is he really? Who are you really? Who are you together? Because different people bring out different sides of our personality, good, bad, or indifferent. So your body won't lie. So stay in tune with your body. I hope this was helpful, you guys. Do me a favor, please share this with a woman that you feel needs this today or any day. Please share this. Also, it would help me if you put any questions, comments below about something that you might be struggling with or you would like for me to teach about. Sending you lots of love. I will see you tomorrow at same time, same place. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.